some of you are uploading your homework on Google Classroom. I think it's just overwhelmed because everyone's doing the same thing. But that's kind of surprising because that's the whole point of using Google Classroom. You know, supposedly all the teachers have been using it and that's how we collected homework. And we just didn't because for math, it doesn't really lend itself nicely. But hopefully Dr. Flynn is gonna talk to those in charge there and figure it out. Remember how we used to upload homework to the Google folder, to the homework folder in Google Classroom? Maybe we can get back to that. I don't know. But for now, all of you have gotten to me, I think, either through Google Classroom or through emails. So again, if you check People Path and you see you don't have a grade for the homework and you know you sent it to me somehow, just reach out to me and tell me. Okay. So any questions we need to answer to get out of the way before we start going over the homework? Oh, Jason, hello.
Hi.
You have not muted yourself.
Oh.
How's your sister? Is she home?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good. I hope it's a good thing. Say hi to her for me.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys also heard that the mayor was thinking of closing schools through June, right? I mean, it's not settled yet, I think. I just heard that yesterday, which sucks. But, all right, are there any other questions? Anything you want to share before we start going over the homework? Okay. So let's start then. Okay, what do we have here? So you had 4, 5, and 6, I think, for the homework for today. And any questions on question 4? Where's my Jess? Is Jess here? Yes, she is. Every year I have a constant. Last time it was Vivian Chen. And this year is Jessica. You're a constant in a different way. Vivian used to come to tutoring every single day. She missed 0 days. Needless to say, she got a 5 on the AP exam. And you're my constant. I can always count on you to ask a question, which is great. No pressure though. I'm not saying you should have a question, but that's why we are here. So if you guys are mute, it's not going to help. Everyone's got their microphone turned off. Oh, the other thing I was mentioning is if you have your homework and you can't upload it for whatever reason, another way besides emailing to me is to turn on your camera and show me the homework live during this meeting. Is anyone here in that position? Okay. So are there any questions on problem 4? Once again, everyone got a 9 points on this, please. All right, so here, instead of asking if there are any questions, well, in addition to that, I should say, so in my fantasy world, everyone tried the problem on their own, then they went to the answer key and their answers, and then they realized what their mistakes were and fixed them. Can we share some of the mistakes? Because it is not realistic that everyone got this 100%. So why don't we do that?
Sorry.
Hi, is this Jess?
It's Nadia.
Yeah, I can't see. Okay, Nadia. Hi,
Yeah.
Nadia.
Hi. For D, instead of like solving or isolating M and B, I use the slope point formula. I don't know why. And then I saw the answer key and I corrected myself.
You use the point slope for, okay, let's see what the question says. Find the values of the constants m and b for which y equal to mx plus b is a solution. Okie dokie. So they did do it, it looked like what they did was kind of convoluted. You said you did it differently?
Yeah, like I didn't really understand the question, so I plugged in the points from the previous part C, like 2 and 3 to find the slope, but I was wrong.
Oh, I see, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for that particular solution. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it could have been done differently. Let's see. So if y is a solution, then we can, that means if we substitute it in there, it should work. No, I don't think that would be simpler. But you understand what they did here?
Yeah, they like substituted in different.
Yeah, and they kind of matched up like we did in the separation of the composition of fractions.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing, Nadia. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Are you feeling all right?
Me?
Yeah, you either sound sleepy or sad or, you know,
Oh,
troubling.
my allergies are acting up.
Oh, great. Like we don't
Yeah.
worry about, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Another reason to stay indoors, huh? Such a nice sunny day out. I hope you guys go for a walk at least, you know, around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right, where am I going here? Okay. I see that Michael is not hearing. Michael, are you hearing us?
I left the call and I joined back and it worked.
Oh, good. Okay, that's good. Great, actually. All right. Yeah, I don't know why anyone wouldn't hear. But who knows? We don't have answers to everything. So we are at a consistent 2/3 of the class, a different 2/3 every time.
Wait, I didn't hear. Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
Hi. Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Did you realize that Jason is here now?
Jason's son, yes, I greeted him actually.
Oh, I didn't hear, so.
That's okay. I also got in touch with Syed, so I don't know if he'll be able to join us, but okay. Anybody else would like to share any mistakes that they've made here?
I was just really confused on letter D.
Yes, there are no numbers and it's all letters. And I can see how that gets confusing. Are you confused on the solution that they provided?
Yeah, like just the whole process in getting the solution.
Okay. All right. So what they're saying is, all right, so they use derivative, right? And which is a differential equation because it's got a derivative. And it has many solutions, right? So they're saying that one of these solutions is a line, y equal to mx plus b. And they just want you to find the equation of that line. And, you know, they're asking it in a different way. They're asking find m and b. But once you find m and b, you're really finding the equation. So yeah, they just want you to find that solution. So since you know that y is equal to this, then you can substitute it into the derivative equation, right? So if y is mx plus b, then dy dx would just be the derivative of this, which is m. So, and then the y is mx plus b, and it looks like that's what they did here. right? So they're taking the derivative of the, so on the left side, you have m.
Mhm.
You know what, maybe I should just capture this and do it. Excuse me. Sorry. Live lesson. Okay. All right. Oh, so I also need the derivative, I guess. So what's the derivative? dy dx equals 2x minus y. All right. So they're telling me y equal to mx plus b is a solution, right? So that means I can plug it in. If that's a solution, that means dy dx is going to be m, right?
Mhm.
Good. Okay. And so I'm going off of this, right? If I take the derivative of this, I'm getting m. So that's what goes on the left side here.
Yeah.
The y is mx plus b, so I'm just going to plug that in. Remember that this negative gets distributed when I make y, I replace y with mx plus b.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that's where, that's what I would have done the first step. That they're just showing a lot of work here that's, I feel, is not necessary.
Okay.
Okay. So that is that. Yeah. Okay. So
Mhm.
we want to figure out m and we figure out b, right? And the solution works. So when you substitute it in, you're going to get an identity. So if you have, let's see, what would be the easiest way here? I'm trying not to look at the solution here. All right, both of these have x in them. So I can figure x out.
Mhm.
And then I get minus b and take the m away, minus b minus m, and that's going to be 0. And the reason I do this is now I can match what I have on the right side with what I have on the left side. Okay, so oh, this looks very messy. Excuse me. I couldn't read it myself. Okay, so this is minus b, and I'm just subtracting the m over, right? Okay. Not much improvement, but at least you can read it. Okay, so if I look on the left side, I just have 0. I don't have any x.
Mhm.
So now I'm trying to match. So I don't have, so you can think of this as being like 0x plus 0, right? So match this 0 here matches with the coefficient of the x on the other side, which is 2 minus m. Right. Here I can conclude that m is 2. And the constant, the 0 constant matches with the constant on the other side, which is negative b minus m. I figured out that m is 2, so b would have to be negative 2 for this to be 0, right?
Mhm.
So again, remember I told you part D could be a little bit out there. You know, try to really separate the 4s from the 5s. Oh, I forget you guys have life outside of this, of course. I'm apologizing in advance in case my daughter bursts in here wanting something or another.
Yeah, that was my sister.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's kind of cool. It's I don't know. Do you guys like doing this, or you'd rather be in school? You probably would rather be in school. I don't know. What do you feel?
I'd rather be in school.
You would? Wait, who's this?
Chic.
Oh, Rishikai. You'd
I
rather
was
be
gonna
in.
I was gonna ask to go over C.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, the positive things about staying home. I feel like, I don't have to wake up at 6. I can wake up at 7:30. Um, but I miss Wise being there too. All right, C. Okay. So in part C, let f of x be the particular solution to the differential equation. They're giving you a point on this solution. Does f have a relative min, max, or neither? So remember that for a function to have a relative max or min or at a point, the derivative has to be 0 or d and e. And then you have to do a little more testing to see if it's a max or a min with the sign analysis chart and all that. So if you just look at the derivative, which is here, right? They gave you that. So let's plug in the 2 and the 3. So if x is 2 and y is 3, and I plug them in here, I get 2 times 2, which is 4, minus 3. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So I get 1. So the derivative at this point is 1, which leads me to believe that there is no max or min. It's neither, because if there were a max or a min, the derivative would be either 0 or d and e. I don't know. Let's see what they did.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Yes, that would be the appropriate work. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure, as usual. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? I should just close this. Okay. Any other questions or comments, criticisms, or jokes on number 4? I think this is pretty easy. At least I have confidence that at least half of this problem you should have gotten without any issues. What surprised me, I don't think they would penalize you for this, but usually they do say here for part A to sketch a slope field for the given differential equation at the 6 points indicated. But all the problems we've seen so far would have also included the points on the x-axis. And in this case, it doesn't. So I thought that was a little weird. And if you had used those points to do this, would they have taken points off? Probably not.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because I was wondering why there wasn't a point
Yeah.
at 0, 1,
No.
but then I looked at the question again and it said the 6 points and I was like, oh, there's 6 points
know.
already given. So
Yeah, I know. They probably wouldn't have given you any hard time if you did do it, but it's unusual. Again, all the other questions I've seen included the x-axis ones. Okay, so that was that. Número 5. Okay. Oh, wait. Before I go on, and before I forget, remember we talked about you guys not getting a subscore for the AB this year. And you cannot take both tests as I was hoping you could. I know some of you wanted to, so that the colleges can give you. So right now you're going to take the BC test, and if depending on the college, some colleges give you something for a 4, some colleges want a 5. I don't know. But it used to be that you also get an AB subscore, and the colleges would look at that. And if you didn't make the mark for the BC, then at least they would give you credit for AB, meaning credit for Calc 1. But now you're not going to have that option. So I was hoping you'd be able to take both, but apparently that's not a choice. What you could do if you wanted, if you feel that, some of you probably feel like you would not be able to get a 5 on the BC. Though I think your chances of doing well on this are probably higher now because they're adapting it and taking out making it short and all that. You could switch if you want from BC to AB. I need to know if that's what you want because the school has to tell the college board how many of each test we will need. So I need to know. You don't have to tell me today, but maybe by the end of the week, let me know. Think about it. Okay. I mean, regardless of what you choose, we'll still review BC stuff because that's going to automatically also review the AB stuff. But on your own, then you can go and look at the AB questions, free response if you want. So we'll take it from there. Again, April 3rd is going to be the day we supposedly will find out more information. But for now, you need to consider that option if you want, and let me know in an email or whatever your choice of sharing is. Okay. Moving on, we were looking at number 5. Talk to me.
Oh, so like for A,
Uh-huh.
I did it using the equation y equals mx plus b.
Write an equation for the line tangent to the graph. Okay, you used y equal to mx plus b?
Yeah.
Okay. What
Yeah,
is,
but
that what
for
they
some
did?
reason, I didn't get like the right answer.
You didn't get what they got?
Yeah.
Okay. How about after you looked at the answer key, still confused? You want me to go over it?
No, I got how they got it. Like when I
Uh-huh.
used like the point slope formula,
Yeah.
like it kind of made a little more sense to me.
So you got a different equation, but that's equivalent to what they have? What was your equation?
Oh, I erased it.
Oh. Okay. Did you submit your homework yet?
Yeah, I submitted it.
Again, I am talking to Jessica, right?
Yeah.
Yes. You and Nadia are now, your voices are like combining in my head. Okay, so to find the equation, so you wanted to use y equal to mx plus b. Okay, so m, did you get m to be negative 5/16?
No. I think that's what happened.
Okay, like don't erase your stuff so you can go over it, right? Otherwise you don't know what mistake you made.
Yeah.
So they give you the slope, which is here, and in part A, they are telling you k is 3.
Mm-hmm.
You replace k with 3, so then, right, k is 3 for part A, and the x coordinate is 4, so you're putting in 4. So k and x is 4, and that's what they're doing over here.
Oh, yeah. I probably plugged it in wrong.
Probably. There are a lot of letters. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
There are a lot of places to just, excuse me, make mistakes. So, okay. And then after you find a slope, you need the y value to plug into y equal to mx plus b, because the x value you know is 4. So if what I'm saying is, if you're doing it this way,
Yeah.
this is negative 5/16. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. X was 4, they gave you that, right? But now you find b, so you plug in 4, but you also need to plug in the y value. So for the y value, you go back to the original, but remember that k is 3, right? So that's what they did here. They plugged in x equal to 4, k is equal to 3, and they got 1/4. So they got 1/4 for y. So you plug in 1/4 equals negative 5/16 times 4 plus b, and you find b that way. So this is negative 5/4. You add 5/4 to this, you get 6/4, which is 3/2. So b is 3/2. So it should have been negative 5/16x plus 3/2. If you did it that way. Negative 5/4, add 5/4, you get 6/4, just, yeah. So this should be equivalent to whatever they have here. Yeah, if you distribute the negative 5/16. I think there's less work though if you did it, their way.
Yeah.
You find the y and the y prime and plug them in and boom. They just moved the 1/4 to the right side. But you could have left it as y minus a quarter equals blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good question.
Thank you.
Appreciate the questions that Jessica's asking. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yep. And the rest of you all? Any other questions?
Miss
That's
Bonner,
awesome.
I have a question.
Hi.
Jolyn.
Oh, Jolyn. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
For
Yes.
for letter C, I got two answers. K is equal to -5 and K is equal to -10.
Interesting. Okay, let's look at C. Let me read it. Find the value of K for which F has a critical point at x equal to -5. Okay. So for a critical point, you need the derivative to be 0 or DNE, right?
Right.
So the derivative is given. So let's see. We're looking for K in this case, right? Right.
Right.
So let me see. C we're doing, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we get here. Do I have to do it? No. Okay. I just need that. All right, let's see. So find the value K for which is critical point. So the thought process is critical point occurs when F prime is 0 or DNE. Okay, so I'm going to substitute X with -5. I don't know what K is. That's what I'm looking for. X squared K times, of course they have to make it negative, so I have to use all these parentheses. So let's see what we get there. We'll do the 0 first. So we get K plus 10 in the numerator, 25 plus 5K in the denominator equals 0. Okay. So you're saying you got K equal to -10. That's what makes it 0. And then what makes it DNE is -5.
Yes.
Okay. So when you're correct in your thinking, the only thing I could do here is to look back at the problem and see if they said F was differentiable or continuous. Consider the function where K is a non-zero constant. The derivative of F is given by this. Okay. So let me look at this for a sec. So we're looking at this function, right? This function is, let's simplify it a little. I mean, let's factor it a little bit. The denominator at least. X minus K. So this will be discontinuous at x equal to 0 and x equal to K. Agree? Jolyn, are you still there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so the given function is discontinuous when x is 0 and when x equal to K. So that means there's no derivative at those points. So if we're saying that the derivative does not exist at k equal to -5.
Oh, I think I see what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
are you saying that like if I factor out 5 from the denominator, so it becomes 5 times 5 plus K. So K can't be -5.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say here is that, okay, you know what? Let me just give you a visual. I don't know what this function looks like, but let's look at a function that's discontinuous. Let's say this is my k, right? It's discontinuous at k. Actually, it has a vertical asymptote, right? Because it's 1 to infinity. So because the function is discontinuous there, the derivative won't exist, but you can't say that's a critical point. Because by definition, a critical point of a function is actually on the function, right? So here, this is a critical point because the derivative is 0. It's a point on the function, right? Another critical point that's on the function, this is critical because the derivative does not exist, but the function has to exist.
Okay.
Critical point, right? So in this particular case, the function exists when k is negative 10, when k is negative 5, rather. Substitute k equal to negative 5, you will have a vertical asymptote. So if the derivative does not exist there because the function doesn't exist there. If the function does not exist, then we cannot have a critical point.
Okay.
That is an excellent question. Oh my God, I miss your brains. Oh, feels like I'm trapped in, like, you know, one of those movies where you're like, you download your brain on the internet and okay. Wow. Blew me away, Jolene. Okay. You missed the whiteboards. That's funny. Jason's son. Okay. All right. Great. So any other questions on number 5?
Oh, can you go over letter D?
Of course. Letter D. Letter D. Letter D is always the
Because I kind of forgot how to do the partial fractions.
that's okay. Mama Bono's here. Okay, letter D. Oh, they substituted in for you. That's sweet. The partial fraction decomposition. Okay. So to decompose the fraction, you first have to factor the denominator to figure out the factors of the denominator, right? So, some constant. Okay. So sometimes you can do it by trial and error, or you can do all the algebra, or you can use the trick that we learned, right? So what is the trick that we learned? Oh, yes. So the root of this is x equal to 0. Yes? So go back to this equation. I'm sorry, this expression, and substitute in 0, but not for this. I'm going to pretend that's not there. Okay, so if I substitute in 0 into the remainder of that, what do I get?
-6.
For the whole expression, though.
Oh, you would get
1 over
-6.
Yeah, you got it. So that's how I get my A. Okay. Okay, now do the same thing for the B, right? So put this back. So I'm going to go to find the root of this. The root of the denominator is 6. I'm going to go back to the original. I'm going to disregard this and put in 6 in there for that. So what would B be then?
1 over 6.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I feel your frustration. I wish, do you hear while I'm writing on my thing? I hear you're writing on your thing. Okay. Find the partial fraction decomposition for F. So this should suffice. You know, let's put this back. You don't have to simplify it or anything. But I know that they want me to find the antiderivative, so I'm going to switch these around. I could actually factor 1/6 out because I want to make my work a little easier since I'm going to have to anti-differentiate this. And I switched the order because I know from these problems I'm going to get ln, right? So ln of A minus ln of B, I could use that property. So if I differentiate it, I'm going to get, so 1/6 is on the outside, right? I'm anti-differentiating that. Derivative of 1 over x minus 6 is just ln of x minus 6. So value. Take away ln of x. You could leave it like this, taking away. Or just use the ln rule of ln of A minus ln of B equals ln of A over B. That used to be important in multiple choice. It's not really as important now because it doesn't really matter. They're both equivalent. So they should accept this answer. Let's not forget the plus C though, right? So I don't know how they did it, but it should be something similar. Oh, they did simplify, but you could have left it. You could have left it this way, I guess. It doesn't matter. It doesn't say to simplify, so. It helps to understand that when you look at the answers, but on the actual test, you could just leave it. So did I answer your question?
Yeah, wait, can you go back again to the work?
Yeah.
Because I think you went a little too fast, so I couldn't really.
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. Which part? The composition or the integration?
When you like put it together, like 1/6 parentheses 1 over x minus 6.
Oh, this part.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Not important. Let's do it a different way then. So let's forget about that, right? And yeah, sometimes re-explaining doesn't help, so I try to do it just a different way. Okay, so let's differentiate both sides, okay? So this will give me negative 1/6 is a constant, and that's ln of x, right? You okay with the part?
Yeah.
And the next one is 1/6, and that's ln of absolute x minus 6 plus c, and just leave it at that.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I wanted it to, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is acceptable.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. It's just sometimes they get very mathy on these answer keys and they try to like simplify to the nth degree, pun intended. And then when you look at that, like, what the heck did they do? But yeah, that's what they did. And okie doke. So that was question number 5. Are we done with that, or are there any other questions? Children. Okay. Then I guess question 6 it is. Now this is the series question, and anything with error you can leave out, but anything with like terms and stuff, I think you still should do. So this was pretty straightforward, I think, but there should still be questions. Oh, they're very nice in part A. They're telling you what test to use. They could have just said find the radius of convergence, but it's the ratio test you usually need with that. So any questions on part A?
Oh yeah, so like for A,
Uh-huh.
I did the ratio test and I got like the answer and stuff like that. But like when I looked at the answer key, you see how it's
Yeah.
like +3?
Yep.
Why is it +3? Oh wait, no, I see it now. It's the absolute value.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Great, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, Nadia.
Why are they asking for why are they putting absolute value if they're not asking for absolute convergence?
That's a very good question. In order to find the radius of convergence of a series, you need to use the ratio test for absolute convergence.
Oh, okay.
Just, yeah. They didn't say use the ratio test for absolute convergence. I guess they're expecting you to know that. Yeah, that's just the method of it. That's how you do it. And that's if the series is not, geometric. If it's geometric, just look at R. And remember, even there, right, absolute value of R has to be less than 1 for it to converge. Here, you can't use that because it's not geometric. Plus, they also want you to use the ratio tests.
Oh, okay.
Part B, short one. Welcome. Part B, right, the first 4 non-zero terms of F prime. So they just want you to take the derivative of the terms. Any questions on there?
Can you go over B?
B, yes. Write the first 4 non-zero terms. Okay. So let me do my thing over here. B. Let's just do the whole thing. Okay. B. Write the first 4 terms, non-zero terms of the Maclaurin series for F prime. Okay, so this is already a Maclaurin series, but for F, right? So I need the first 4 terms of this. They only give me the first 3, but because I need to find F prime, I'm going to find the next term also. So just using the format here, the next term will be, so this is n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3. So I'm going to plug in n equal to 4, and my f would be x minus 3 over 2x squared plus 3x cubed. Now, if I plug in 4 for n, I would get negative 3. We'll simplify it in a minute. I don't want to skip too many steps. Negative 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. N is 4, x to the 4, right? So just to simplify this a bit, negative 27 over 4, x to the 4th. So this is just f though, right? I needed the 4th term because
Miss Banu.
Oh yes.
I think you wrote 2 on accident for 3x squared in f of x.
Oh, thank you. Yes, this should be cubed. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Who just helped me?
Haojun.
Oh, Haojun, thank you. And good morning. Okay, thank you, buddy. So let me fix myself here also. Okay, so this is f, but they wanted first 4 non-zero terms for f prime. So it's just the derivative, really. 1 minus 3x squared. When you bring the 2 down, it cancels with this denominator, right? So it's just 3x. And this would be 9x squared. This 4 in the numerator is going to cancel the denominator when you bring it down. So you're going to get negative 27x cubed.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Now, this only works for that ratio of what this is saying is express f prime as a rational, or that we have to do in a second. We didn't do that part.
Mm.
Okay. So basically, another way of putting it is to find the sum of this. So you would be looking at the series and you'd be asking yourself, okay, do I recognize this as a type of series? Because it looks very geometric. R is negative 3x, right? If you multiply by negative 3x, you get to the next term. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the sum of this is the sum of a geometric series is a over 1 minus r, right? Yeah. So a here is the first term, which is 1, and r is negative 3x. So that's what we got. Of course, this only works if r is between negative 1 and 1, which we already know this is from the previous part.
Oh, okay.
So that's, so part B asks you to do two things, to find this and then to find, no, not that, I'm sorry, to find this.
Yeah.
That's right. That was one part, and then the other part. Probably gave you a point for each. Let's see. Oh no, they gave you 2 points for the derivative and 1 point for the function. Okay.
Yeah, because the wording kind of gets me confused sometimes.
Not surprising. It is confusing. I completely understand. Okay, but the first sentence, I mean, yeah, the first sentence you were able to understand what they wanted.
Mm.
Just find the first 4. Okay, just find the derivative.
Yeah.
And express it as a rational function. Rational function means a fraction. So it just basically asking you, what is that equal to? You know, so. Next.
Okay.
Now, this is not saying, we're not saying that, you know, hold on a second. We're not saying that the sum of these 4 terms is that. Like, the infinite series, if you added up all of the terms, it would give you that. So they just asked for the first 4 terms, but if we're putting an equal sign here, then we're implying that the whole series, all of it, all the way to infinity, is going to equal to this sum. Okay, this is the sum of an infinite geometric series. The sum of a finite geometric series is a different formula. They're not dealing with that. Just wanted to clarify.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. So notes when I talked about the Maclaurin series, there are a bunch of series like e to the x, sine of x, cosine of x you had to memorize, and that's what they're expecting you to do here for part C. You could get it from scratch, but you're not going to have time. You know, use the Taylor formula and final derivatives. Though for e to the x, it's not that hard. It would take time. So they would expect you to memorize that. And then use the Maclaurin series for e to the x to write a 3rd degree Taylor polynomial about x equal to 0. Okay, so they're trying to confuse you here. Taylor polynomial about x equal to 0 is still a Maclaurin polynomial. So I hate when they intentionally try to trick you. They just want you to write the polynomial for this function. So if you know what the series is for e to the x, you're just multiplying that by f of x, which was the original function given.
Can you show like the multiplication?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, they're sometimes they're answers, man. Okay. There. Is this freezing on me? Come on, man. This is not the right time to freeze. I got a couple more minutes. Oh well, we'll see. Okay, so this is e to the x, the first four terms. So I can't write e to the x equals, because e to the x, if you write this, you might lose points. E to the x is the infinite series, right? These are just the first four terms. So I wouldn't write the equals there. These are just the first four terms of e to the x. Then they want you to multiply this by f of x. So this was f of x. And this is e to the x. The product, okay, so it looks like you're just, how many terms do they want? The first four or the first three? Let me just look at the question. Write the first four non-zero. Okay, we did that. Use that to write the third degree. So it's not the number of terms I'm looking for, it's the degree. Okay, so let's start multiplying, right? So I'm going to distribute the 1 to everything in here. So that will give me x minus 3 over 2x squared plus 3x cubed, dot, dot, dot. You okay? Minus.
Yeah.
So far, just distributing the 1, right? Then we're going to distribute the x. So we're going to get, and I'm going to try to write the terms underneath the like terms. So when I distribute the x to x, I'm going to get x squared, right? Positive. So I'm going to put it here. And distribute the x to negative 3 over 2x squared. So I'm going to get negative 3 over 2x cubed. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to go any further.
Mhm.
I don't care. I just want the third degree. So I only care about the third power. I want to go up to the third power. If I go further, x times 3x cubed is going to give me 3x to the fourth. And they don't care about that. Okay. All right. Now, so let's go to the third term. So x squared over 2 factorial multiplied by x, that will give me x cubed over 2. So that would belong here. Because 2 factorial is just 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't go further. I mean, I could. I don't have to because the next two terms, they both have x squared. So that I'll get x to the fourth again. So no point in doing that, right? Okay. So then I'll go to the next term, x cubed over 3 factorial. But I realize that when I multiply that by x, I'm going to get a fourth degree. So I don't need that. So I have what I need so far because they want the third degree. So I'm going to stop at when I get the power 3 for every possible combination. So I have x, which doesn't have a like term, right? So it's just x, there it goes. Then I have negative 3 over 2x squared positive x squared. So negative 3 over 2 plus 2 over 2, if you will, right? Like line them. So negative 3 over 2 plus 2 over 2 is negative a half x squared. And then I have my cubics over here. So what is that? 3. I'm just looking at the coefficients, right? Minus 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2.
Yeah.
So that would give me, if I make this into 6 over 2, 6 minus 3, that's 3, plus 1, that's 4. So I'm going to get 4 over 2, which is 2. So that would be that. 2x cubed.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yep. And that concludes our homework review for today. Are there any questions on this or anything else? Or anything you want to share? Anything you want to talk about? Is anyone, how are you guys reaching out to your friends? How do you keep in touch with your friends? What platform do you use? I'm just curious.
FaceTime.
You use FaceTime. And FaceTime, you can do more than one person, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Discord. Yeah, Discord too. Huh. Discord. All right. Oh, man. How June? It's too early? Oh, my goodness. You just woke up? What? What time do you go to bed, buddy? Wait, what? Okay, maybe I don't understand. I guess being like a night owl. Some people are night owls. You know, maybe you'll get a job where you will work at night and that'll come in handy. I couldn't do that. I would just be a zombie. But whatever works for you, man. Yeah. No judgment. Whatever works for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right.
Miss Banu, I
Hi,
called
John. Yes.
called Saeed yesterday and he said he's gonna be here today, but I guess he's not.
I know, you know, he reached out, he emailed me, thank you. And he was telling me, it was so scary. He was telling me that he was at his job, he had to substitute for some guy who got sick. I don't know
He
where
always
he
gets at
worked.
3 a.m. at work.
Where does he work? In the medical field?
No, Domino's.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh man. Well, you know, you need that money.
Yeah, he works hard.
At least we'll record all of this, so I know that he'll be okay. But I was just afraid that he didn't reach out at